California law is now requiring employers to put in place what is called a workplace violence prevention plan. So as you know, Cal OSHA already requires employers to have a injury prevention plan, an IIPP. So most employers already have that, and now employers by July 1st, coming up here in 6 short months, will be required to have a workplace violence prevention plan. And that is a plan that can be done with your IIPP, or it can be a separate standalone document. This is going to apply to most employers. There is a small exception, which likely doesn't apply to most people here today, but it is for workplaces with less than 10 employees at any given time that is not accessible to the public. So most, your restaurants are all accessible to the public, so likely most of us here are going to be needing to do these workplace prevention plans. And what it requires is employers to establish and maintain this plan. Also requires training, records of incidents, to keep these records, to continue to identify and maintain logs of workplace hazards. And so, employers do have until July 1st to get this done, but there are quite a few items that need to be tackled. And so this is something that's important to start looking at and start gaining the information that you need to put this plan together. On this next slide, I have some tips on how to get started. And these are just things to start looking at to be able to start putting your plan together. So you want to identify who's going to be responsible for implementing the plan, outlining how employees can report incidents or threats of workplace violence, identify how the company is going to identify and correct workplace hazards, creating procedures for responding to emergencies, and identify how to develop and provide training. Again, this also does require training to employees. It also has requirements to have continued training. It's not just the training up front. There's continued training, continued reports that would need to be done as additional incidents or threats of workplace violence come up. One thing to keep in mind is if you do have multiple locations, you can have one plan, but you want to be sure that your plans are customized to each location. Not all locations are going to have the same hazards. They may not have the same contact information.